Hey Red Devils fans. Big news is dropping fast. Sir Jim Ratcliffe takes a huge hit. Stay tuned. Smash that like button. Sir Jim Ratcliffe loses £6.5 billion of total wealth in staggering blow for Man United. If an utterly dismal campaign from Manchester United wasn't enough to leave Sir Jim Ratcliffe in a gloomy mood, the British billionaire's huge net worth loss certainly would. Manchester United co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe has seen his wealth decrease by almost £6.5 billion over the last 12 months. The British billionaire's staggering loss was the biggest among those included on the Sunday Times Rich List 2025. Ratcliffe was ranked 4th in the 2024 list and topped the standings in 2018. But he has now fallen to become the 7th richest individual in Britain, behind the likes of Sir James Dyson and Gopi Hinduja and family, who sits atop the list. The INUS chief, who completed a deal to buy into United last year, was worth £23.519 billion in the 2024 rich list. However, that has now decreased by £6.473 billion to £17.046 billion. He has lost almost £3 billion more than the second biggest slider on the top 10 list in Sir Leonard Blavatnik, who saw £3.5 billion shaved off his total wealth of £25.725 billion. Mirror Football has reached out to Ratcliffe and Ineos for comment. Ratcliffe still maintains a very healthy net worth, but, given the financial struggles the Red Devils have endured in recent years, it certainly doesn't bode well for fans hoping for an immediate return to success under the Failsworth-born businessman. Ratcliffe has been brutally honest about the dire financial situation he's walked into at Old Trafford since arriving at the club in February 2024. Despite the 13-time Premier League champions consistently ranking as one of the largest revenue-generating teams in world football, the 72-year-old stunned supporters in his wide-ranging interview with Gary Neville earlier this year. It was in March that he claimed the club were set to run out of money this year without his £232 million, $300 million, investment. Manchester United would have run out of money at the end of this year. November this year, the club runs out of cash, he told the United legend. Ratcliffe, who has led multiple redundancy rounds at the club since his arrival, explained just how serious the financial situation has evolved. If you think about Manchester United as a business, it's gone off the rails. It's gone off the rails a long way, really, he said. If you look at the numbers were fairly scary, really, because they'd sort of lost control, I think, of where the ship was headed. And the costs had got out of control. If you think of it in really simple terms, you've got the operating costs, which are all the staff and the fixed costs of running the business. And then you've got all the squad costs, player salaries and player purchases. In super simple terms, the club has been spending more money than it's been earning now for the last 7 years, and it ends in a very difficult. Jonathan David hands transfer boost to Man United as Lille star confirms summer plans. Lille striker Jonathan David will leave the French club on a free transfer when his contract expires next month, giving Manchester United the opportunity to sign him on the cheap. Manchester United have the chance to sign Jonathan David on a free transfer this summer after he confirmed that he's leaving Lille. David, 25, won't sign a new contract with the French club and move on to pastures new when his current deal expires on June 30th. The Canadian striker has been linked with United alongside a host of European giants for many years, having impressed for Lille ever since his move from Gent in 2020. David lifted the League One title in his first season and has scored 109 goals in 231 games for Les Dogs, putting him third in the club's all-time goal scorer charts. That kind of output would be ideal for United, who prioritized signing a striker in the summer transfer window. The Red Devils want an upgrade on Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee, who've scored a combined 17 goals this season compared to David's 25. The 25-year-old has also chipped in with 12 assists, as Lille head into the final day on Saturday battling for 4th place, which would earn them a spot in the Europa League. But if they qualify, David won't be a part of it.
I wanted to tell you myself that after so many years at the club, it's time for me to say goodbye,
he said in a video posted on Instagram.
I've spent 5 wonderful seasons here. I know it hasn't always been easy, but I hope that with my goals and celebrations, I've managed to bring you some joy, especially with the French Championship title and the Champions Trophy.
Thanking his teammates, David added,
I know I didn't have the easiest start, but you've always been behind me, you've supported me through the tough times, and for that, I'll keep you in my heart.
The Canada international has most recently been linked with Napoli, as well as Barcelona and Newcastle. David isn't the only striker on United's radar either, with Liam Delap understood to be their number 1 target and available for £30 million following Ipswich's relegation. But the fact that United wouldn't have to pay a fee for David could sway them. Co-owner Sir Jim Ratcliffe has made it clear the Red Devils are in a precarious financial position, which makes winning the Europa League final against Tottenham next Wednesday even more important, as it'd guarantee them a place in next season's Champions League, which is worth roughly £100 million. Chelsea 11 vs Manchester United. Predicted lineup. Confirmed team news. Injury latest for Premier League today. Blues facing striker conundrum for final home match of the season, with Nicholas Jackson suspended. Chelsea have a shortage of attacking options as they prepare to host Manchester United in the Premier League tonight. The Blues know that victories in their final 2 league games will secure a top 5 finish and Champions League football next season. However, they will be without first-choice striker Nicholas Jackson for both games following his red card in last weekend's defeat at Newcastle. Christopher Nkunku and Mark Guéhi are also sidelined, meaning manager Enzo Maresca does not have a recognized striker at his disposal. Pedro Neto appears likely as to assume the role, having done so while Jackson was injured earlier this season. However, Maresca's options are also limited out wide by the fact that Jadon Sancho is ineligible to feature against his parent club. Alternatively, Chelsea could turn to youngster Tariq George. The 19-year-old started both legs of the Conference League semi-final tie against Djurgården, but is unproven in the role at Premier League level. Using Cole Palmer as a false 9 is another option Maresca has floated in the past, while Neto's use up front could see the Englishman return to the wide role he played under Mauricio Pochettino for much of last season. That switch could see Enzo Fernandez pushed higher up the pitch, Moises Caicedo moved back into midfield and Reece James brought into the side at right back after shaking off an illness that forced him to miss training on Tuesday. Ruben Amorim rules out doing what Jose Mourinho did with Man United in Europa League triumph. Red Devils did it all the time. Ruben Amorim has suggested that he won't take a page out of the playbook of Jose Mourinho for Manchester United's Europa League final clash against Tottenham. Jose Mourinho arrived at Old Trafford and became Manchester United manager in 2016 after the Red Devils sacked former club head coach Luis van Gaal. The 62-year-old Portuguese manager, who is now at Fenerbahce, led the Red Devils to a 6th-place finish in the Premier League table in the 2016-17 campaign. But Mourinho enjoyed silverware success in his debut season at Old Trafford, and United lifted the League Cup and the Europa League under the special one. United ended the 2016-17 season by capturing the Europa League trophy in the final at the Friends Arena in Stockholm, with the Red Devils beating Ajax 2-0 in 2017. The Red Devils' triumph in Sweden in the 2017 Europa League final ensured that Mourinho's United side returned to the Champions League for the 2017-18 season. Ruben Amorim finds himself in a similar situation to Mourinho, with the Red Devils needing to win the Europa League again to secure Champions League football. What Ruben Amorim noticed about Man Utd's 2017 Europa League triumph under Jose Mourinho. Manchester United are in the Europa League final, and the Red Devils will face Premier League side Tottenham at the San-named stadium on May 21st. The Red Devils reached the final of the 2024-25 Europa League season after United knocked La Liga club Athletic Club out of the tournament in the semi-finals. United defeated 10-man Athletic Club 3-0 at the San-named stadium in Spain in the first leg before the Red Devils secured a 4-1 victory in the return leg at Old Trafford. The Red Devils languish in 16th place in the table, and United will end the 2024-25 campaign with their worst finish since the Premier League's inception in 1992. The Europa League trophy is United's only route back to European football for next season and offers Ruben Amorim the chance to lift silverware as United manager. Amorim said that he spotted that Jose Mourinho changed United's playing style all the time because of the opponents they faced in their 2017 Europa League triumph. Speaking to TNT Sports, he said, "One of the things that is good about facing Tottenham is they are really good, but you can understand what they are going to do because they have such a strong identity they will not change. For example, Manchester United under Jose Mourinho. In the 2017 Europa League, they changed the way they played all the time because of the opponents. We have an idea how they are going to press. They have an idea how we are going to build up. It's going to be a tough match for both teams." Ruben Amorim makes his position clear on Jose Mourinho's tactics ahead of Man Utd's Europa League final clash versus Tottenham. Amorim rolled out his tactical system at United after